What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some Fusion Cup practice. All these battles are going to be against my friend Wei, known as Couch Amigo. We got our teams of 6 up on the screen there. And you can see within this line of 6, this is still very fresh in my practice routine here. So this team that I constructed, I threw together extremely quickly. And I actually have Bronzong and Alolan Sandslash in there. And now that I look back and take a look at this team, both of those Pokemon fulfill some of the similar roles. Both serve as anti-flyers, as anti-Altaria checks for sure. So kind of interesting that I had them both in my team there, but again, these were very early in my Fusion Cup practice. I've got my Altaria against Charizard. Now, in theory, you would think that Charizard would still have some play against Altaria, but I was surprised at how little damage that Dragon Claw did to my Altaria. Still did about like 35%, but when I got hit by that, I was surprised that it didn't do more damage. Altaria is extremely bulky. That's definitely one of the reasons that it is considered one of the main meta-defining Pokemon within this Fusion Cup. Its bulk, its access to Dragon Breath, definitely are things that make it very threatening within this meta for sure. I have my Whiscash on his Charizard, and it was in Mud Bomb range, so I charged up a little bit of energy and then threw the Mud Bomb, able to take it out. Going for more Mud Bomb spam against this Poliwrath. Definitely don't go for the Blizzard here as it's going to be resisted. Poliwrath is an amazing choice for this cup, and after this video I switched up my team a little bit and definitely included Poliwrath on my team of 6. You can see I made a fast switch into Alolan Sandslash and I was able to catch that Ice Punch. If that would have been a dynamic punch, I would have gotten one-shotted, so very risky play on my part, but I do shield that dynamic punch, which is great. This Bulldoze is really not going to do that much damage to Poliwrath. Does like 40%, but for how long it takes you to charge up to it, it's really lackluster. You don't get stab on it, and it's only hitting for neutral. And Alolan Sandslash versus Poliwrath is a horrible matchup for Alolan Sandslash for sure, but my Whiscash is able to come in and get one Mud Shot off and take that Poliwrath out. I'm really liking Alolan Marowak as my fire type in here. I am running it with Fire Spin, Bone Club, and Shadow Ball. There's also, you could debate that you could possibly run Hex instead of Fire Spin, but I really enjoy Fire Spin for the farm down potential that you have on the grass types and the steel types as well. Going for the Bone Club here on the Whiscash, I am able to burn a shield, which is really nice, and now I bring in my Altaria against the Whiscash because I have a shield advantage. I do correctly predict the Blizzard here. If he were able to bait me with the Mud Bomb, that would have been very bad for me because it would have equalized our shields and turned this into a not as favorable matchup. I missed the Excellent there on the Sky Attack, not super great. I'm assuming this is going to be another Blizzard, and it is. So I correctly shielded that as well. We are both down shields. I farm up just a little bit of extra energy, going for the Sky Attack, hoping that this is going to be enough to take out the Whiscash. It's barely not enough, and then he switches when his Whiscash is at like almost minimal health. So very interesting play there. I'm going for the Sky Attack here on this Togekiss. Togekiss is really not that bulky, and you can see even though it's resisting my Dragon Breath, but I'm still able to farm that thing down because I landed a Sky Attack on it. So that's pretty insane. So far, I'm not a huge fan of the Charmers within this meta. Granted, I haven't had a lot of practice with them, but I've definitely been enjoying Bronzong. And in some videos that are going to be coming up, I've actually been using Poliwrath as my anti-Altaria, which is pretty insane to think about. But the spamminess of Ice Punch, you can outpace an Altaria and easily take that matchup. So my Alolan Marowak is able to take out Charizard. That's another reason why I prefer Alolan Marowak over the other fire types, is because you're able to beat out Charizard if you land that Shadow Ball, which is pretty easy to do. Regardless of Charizard's moveset, even if it's running Wing Attack with Overheat and Dragon Claw, or if it's running Fire Spin with Blast Burn and Dragon Claw, you're still okay, and you can comfortably know that your Alolan Marowak should be able to win out that match. I get my Venusaur on his Poliwrath, which is really good for me, but as you're going to notice, the spamminess of Poliwrath is ridiculous. He's going to be able to rip off Ice Punches extremely fast. I don't shield this first one because I want to see how much damage it does, and I know that I do not want to get hit by another Ice Punch. But then I switched in my Altaria thinking that this would be a positive matchup because I impart flying. But again, he's going to be able to outpace me with his Ice Punches. I can't even get to a Sky Attack before he throws his second Ice Punch, so he burns this shield. Not the best switch in on my part at all, especially since this Poliwrath had an energy advantage. At this point, I'm going to fully commit to farming this thing down. He does burn my last shield there, but now, and then he switches out when that Poliwrath has hardly any health. Another pretty interesting play there, because now Shiftry is definitely going to get one-shotted by Sky Attacks, and because I farmed so much energy off that Poliwrath, I'm going to be able to throw back-to-back. I missed the Excellent again. Shiftry does not get one-shotted by Sky Attack. It barely survives. Shiftry is not super tanky at all. I'm hoping I can get to this Sky Attack before the Whiscash throws a Blizzard, and I am able to do it, which is really great for me. Just chipping away. Whiscash is so tanky and is definitely considered one of the best Mud Boys within this meta, versus like Quagsire or Swampert. The spamminess of Mud Bomb, coupled with the threat of the Blizzard nuke against the Flyers, just makes it such a good choice for sure. He brought in his Poliwrath trying to catch a charge move, but I was able to farm up even more, and now this Whiscash is going to be taken out by Venusaur. I originally thought that Venusaur would be my top choice in grass types because I know that it can beat the other grass types, but after participating in King's Big Fusion Cup meta discussion live stream, which took place yesterday, which, by the way, you should all check that out. I was super humbled and grateful to be a part of that collaboration. It was a lot of fun. But after seeing that, Shiftry is no joke, man. Even if you are stuck in a not the best matchup like against the Flyer, you can throw those foul plays, and just the strong neutral damage that foul play has still can either draw a shield or actually win you out those matchups, which is pretty insane to think about. Now that Shiftry has Snarl, it is just a machine, and I definitely think it's going to be one of the top grass picks in this meta for sure. I'm able to get an Ice Punch off on that Shiftry, and he does not like it at all. Yikes. Charizard comes in, and because it's running Fire Spin, just easily farms me down there. Alolan Sandslash is double weak to fire and double weak to fighting, both of which and you're weak to ground as well, so you got to watch out for that stuff. You're going to be weak to a whole lot of stuff, even though you are a very hard counter to the flying types, especially Altaria. You're weak to so many other things that are going to be present within this meta. So if you are going to run Alolan Sandslash, you need to always position it in a way that you're not going to get switch locked against one of the many things that could counter you. I have my Altaria on Charizard. This is a positive matchup for me, but I do have to shield up this Dragon Claw here. Even at that health, I don't think it would take me out. I'm going straight for the Dragon Pulse here because shields are down. This is going to do more damage than the Sky Attack. It's going to hit for super effective. It does not one-shot the Altaria. Again, Altaria is crazy bulky. I have my Alolan Marowak here. I know I can tank a Sky Attack. I know I can tank a Dragon Pulse. Alolan Marowak is also a bulky Pokemon. I'm hoping that this Bone Club is going to be enough. It is resisted, but it is barely not enough, and that is actually even better for me because I'm able to farm down even more energy with my Fire Spin. Charizard comes back in, and I'm anticipating that this is in Bone Club range. And it barely is not, but one more fire spin does the trick. Alolan Marowak definitely came through clutch in that match for sure. If you look at his team there, Alolan Marowak is going to have favorable matchups. Against Shiftry, you still have to watch out for the foul play, but I know it also beats Charizard, and it's going to beat Poliwrath, assuming that they're not running a Bubble variant or the Hydro Pump variant. It definitely is not super good against Altaria at all. The Shadow Balls definitely are going to add up, but right here you can see I'm in a situation not super great. This is why I was originally anticipating running Venusaur, because I like the strong neutral damage that Sludge Bomb has against some of its hardest counters. So I'm going to be able to throw 2 Sludge Bombs here most likely. Either draw a shield or end up taking this matchup. Now this is kind of stupid. I went for Frenzy Plant thinking that this Altaria would be in range. And it is, so I guess I saved 1 Vine Whip there, but that's kind of risky on my play. Frenzy Plant is double resisted by Altaria. In comes his Togekiss. If I would have been able to get off that Sludge Bomb, that would have been amazing for me. But Bronzong is going to be a very good check to Togekiss. That is one of the reasons why I have been including Bronzong on my team as well. With the high prevalence of Altaria, I know that Charmers are going to be out there, and I want something that's going to be a nice hard wall against them as well. Bronzong with its Steel typing definitely fulfills that role. I get my Whiscash on his Whiscash. Just some one-on-one action going down here. If this is a Blizzard, this is going to suck. It is a Blizzard. Yikes. I do not shield it, but it only does like 55% damage. In the Whiscash mirror match, you definitely want to land the Blizzard. That's going to flip it in your favor. I'm going for these Mud Bomb baits here, but he is not taking the bait at all. I'm hoping this is not another Blizzard. It's only a Mud Bomb, which is good for me. I'm going to be able to get to this Mud Bomb. He makes an amazing switch into Togekiss. This Mud Bomb's going to do hardly anything. I bring back in my Bronzong, but I know he still has that Whiscash in the back. I'm assuming that it is out of energy, but we're just going to have to hope. Now, these confusions are definitely adding up, and Charm, even though I'm resisting it, yikes. Charm is such a strong move. It's still wearing me down here. I'm hoping that these confusions will be enough to take out his Whiscash. It's going to be very close. And we simultaneous KO there. Confusion has a pretty long animation, 4 turns I believe, and Mudshot is crazy fast. So we both KO'd each other at the same time there. Pretty hilarious. Looks like I'm going to be bringing in Alolan, Sandslash, Altaria, and Venusaur here. Fairly well rounded. Hoping to catch an Altaria lead. I do not, but this is still very positive for me. The Ice Punch spam is legit. But that Shiftry can spam out moves very fast as well. I knew that was going to be a Leaf Blade because I believe he only got off 3 Snarls there, so I let it go through. I'm stuck in a bad matchup there, and I'm very slow to switch. I did not anticipate his Poliwrath coming out there. Very slow to switch. This is obviously going to be an Ice Punch. I can survive 1 more, but not after these Mud Shots have gone through, so I'm definitely within range of being KO'd from another Ice Punch. Frenzy Plant is easily going to one-shot this Poliwrath. Most likely going to get a shield here, yep. But he might be able to outpace me to another Frenzy Plant. Definitely going to be able to outpace me to another Frenzy Plant. I commit my shield here because I want to maintain the switch advantage. And I know I'm either going to be able to get his last shield or KO his Poliwrath. You can see I do a couple more Vine Whips there to farm up just a little bit more energy. I do get his last shield, and at this point I have lost this scenario. It's okay for me. Poliwrath is a very decent switch in. Really the only things you need to watch out for are Alolan Marowak is going to counter you for sure, because nothing you have is going to be hitting super effective on it other than the Mud Shots, which really don't do that much damage. Bronzong is going to counter Poliwrath, but if you have switched in Poliwrath and you have an energy advantage, you can flip that matchup if you're able to land the Dynamic Punch. So very interesting. I've really been enjoying Poliwrath as a switch-in, and you'll be able to see that in some upcoming videos here. Again, my weighted Timeless Cup has still not happened. I have already done a couple tournaments, but none of those were weighted. Our big one here in Colorado is happening on January 5th, which again, if you are in Colorado, make sure to make that tournament. That's the big mega tournament that we have every month, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm still trying to keep my Timeless team nice and fresh for that tournament so I can do well. And so my Fusion, I have not put a whole lot of time into Fusion battles yet, but I'm definitely doing that more and more. Let me know what you guys think. Should I still post some Timeless practice videos here? Are you interested in seeing that, or have you all moved on from Timeless? I know there are some people out there who still have their Timeless Cup a little bit later in the month, but let me know if you're still willing to watch some Timeless practice. I'm more than willing to put that out there because I am still practicing Timeless, but I feel like most of us have moved on into Fusion territory now. Got an Altaria mirror match here. I shield up the Sky Attack, and he switches in his Whiscash, which is very interesting. Maybe he charged up enough energy almost to get a Sky Attack on his Altaria, and then he switched out. But I'm just going to keep Dragon Breathing down this Whiscash. Totally fine with me. If this is a Mud Bomb, it's still not going to take me out. It does not take me out, so I'm able to get off this Sky Attack, which is absolutely insane. The Dragon Breath damage is absolutely adding up as well. If you watch like where I put my finger for the Sky Attack, I feel like this might be the best option to hit Excellent. It works fairly consistent for me. I just put my finger in the middle of the screen and then just go straight up and down in a small area. The flying animation for flying charge moves, I feel like is one of the more difficult ones because if you miss one bubble, you miss the Excellent. So you got to hit every single one. But that technique has been working for me. Kind of the finger in the middle of the screen and then move it up and down. Let me know what technique you guys use to snag Excellence on the flying type moves, because it is one of the more challenging ones. I get my Bronzong on the Altaria, which is definitely a matchup that I enjoy. In comes the Charizard. If this is a Blast Burn, I am done. It is a Blast Burn. See you later, Bronzong. But I knew I had my Marowak in the back, and so I'm totally okay with this. I also have a little bit of energy stored up on this Marowak, it looks like, so I'm just going to go double Shadow Ball and call it good. Even if this Charizard hits me with an Overheat, I'm still okay with it. I'm going to be resisting it. I know this is just going to be a flurry of Dragon Claws. I believe I can survive one more Dragon Claw, but I'm going to use my last shield here anyways. No point in saving it just to troll. And I'm able to get to another Shadow Ball here, which is definitely going to take it. Another reason why I enjoy Alolan Marowak so much. So, let me guys know what you think of this team of 6. I definitely have a new team coming in the upcoming videos. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.